You got to believe in your greatness. I'm not talking about a fleeting thought or a fleeting moment of pride. I'm talking about deep, unshakable conviction and understanding that inside you lies a potential so vast, so undeniable, that the world itself cannot ignore it. Every single day you wake up, the question is not whether the world will notice your greatness, it's whether you will. Because greatness doesn't wait. Greatness doesn't linger for someone else to hand it to you on a silver platter. Greatness demands you show up. It demands that you stand tall, that you take ownership, that you say, I am ready, I am capable, I am extraordinary. And it starts with the morning, that moment when most people are still in bed, clinging to comfort, to sleep, to the excuse of just 5 more minutes. You, however, must rise. You must rise before the world stirs. You must rise before distraction, before procrastination, before fear has a chance to whisper in your ear. Because the first person you defeat in the battle for your life is yourself. The moment you choose to open your eyes before the sun, before the excuses, before the doubt, you are already winning. You are telling the universe that your dreams are non-negotiable, that your vision is too big to postpone, that your life is too precious to waste on hesitation. Stand first. Be the one who gets up when everyone else is still dreaming about what could be. Be the one who prepares while the world sleeps. Be the one who takes action before the motivation comes knocking. That's the difference between ordinary people and those who leave a legacy. You are not here to blend in. You are here to dominate your day, your path, your life. Every step you take before the world is awake is a brick laid in the foundation of your future. Every early morning, every moment of sacrifice, every ounce of energy you give before anyone sees it compounds into unstoppable momentum. And then there's responsibility, the kind that's heavy, that's real, that demands you stop blaming, stop waiting, stop pointing fingers. Responsibility isn't just about doing the easy things when it's convenient. It's about stepping into the arena of your own life and owning every decision, every failure, every success. You are responsible for your mindset. You are responsible for your actions. You are responsible for how you react to setbacks, to criticism, to adversity. No one else is carrying the weight of your dreams. No one else is going to wake up tomorrow and grind for your vision. That is your job. That is your responsibility. So when life throws challenges at you, when the pressure builds, when the doubts start creeping in, remind yourself, no one else is responsible for your greatness. Not your parents, not your teachers, not your friends, not the economy, not the timing, not luck. You are responsible. You decide how high you'll climb, how fast you'll move, how relentlessly you'll chase your purpose. You decide whether you will be ordinary or extraordinary. This is what it means to believe in your greatness. It is the courage to wake up early, the discipline to show up consistently, the strength to push through fear, the wisdom to own your life without excuses. Every morning is a test. Every sunrise is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are serious about your destiny. You are the author of your story. You are the architect of your legacy. So rise first, rise now. Stand up when the world sleeps. Own your life. Embrace the responsibility of your own greatness. Because there is no one else who can do it for you. There is only you. And greatness, it is waiting. Life isn't easy. If it were, everyone would be great. Everyone would rise early. Everyone would reach their potential. Everyone would leave a legacy. But it's not easy. And that's why greatness separates itself from mediocrity. The path to the top, the journey to your dreams, isn't paved with comfort. It's forged in fire, in struggle, in the moments when you feel like you've reached the limit. And that's where the first battle begins, the battle with yourself. Victory over yourself is not just a phrase, it's not some motivational cliche you hear and forget. It is the conscious decision to silence the inner voice that tells you to quit. The one that says, you can't do it, you're too tired, you're too small, you're not ready. Every time that voice rises, every time your mind whispers excuses, you shut it down. You refuse to allow hesitation, fear, or laziness to dictate the course of your life. You rise anyway. You grind anyway. You push anyway. That voice is powerful. But your will, your discipline, your determination is more powerful. Victory over yourself means doing the hard things when it's easier to turn away. It means running toward difficulty when everyone else is running from it. It means climbing mountains while others stay at the base, waiting for a handout, waiting for someone else to do the work, waiting for life to hand them a victory they have not earned. But you are different. You understand that the only real competition you have is with yourself. Your obstacles, your failures, your fears. They are all just mirrors reflecting the strength you must find inside. And then comes pressure. Life will test you. Pressure will rise. Deadlines will come. Expectations will crush you. People will doubt you. Circumstances will try to bend you, to break you, to turn you into someone smaller than you are. But you are not someone who bends. You are not someone who breaks. You are someone who adapts. You are someone who thrives under pressure. Because pressure is not your enemy, it is the forge of your resilience. When pressure hits, you don't panic. You don't shrink. You rise. You embrace it. You understand that diamonds are formed under pressure, and so too are champions. The pain, the stress, the struggles, they are shaping you. They are carving your character, molding your mental toughness, sharpening your focus, building your endurance. The world doesn't reward those who collapse under stress. The world rewards those who adapt, those who respond, those who turn pressure into momentum. Adaptation is not easy. It requires awareness. It requires reflection. It requires the courage to look at your circumstances and say, I will not be defeated. I will not be dictated to. I will not be stopped by what I cannot control, but I will master what I can. Your reaction to pressure, your response to challenges, your ability to rise above every obstacle, that is what defines you. So when the mountains loom high, when the challenges seem impossible, when the pressure is almost unbearable, remember this. You have everything you need inside, your mind, your spirit, your heart. They are stronger than you realize. The climb is hard. The struggle is real. But the summit, the victory, the sense of achievement, the feeling of knowing you overcame yourself and rose above the storm that is priceless. That is what greatness tastes like. You must win over yourself first. Silence the doubt, conquer the fear, master your discipline. Then, when life pushes, you push harder. When the world pressures, you pressure back. When obstacles rise, you rise higher. Every challenge is a stepping stone. Every setback is a setup for your comeback. Every hardship is training for the heights you were destined to reach. Remember, it's not about avoiding pressure, it's about using it. It's not about escaping difficulty, it's about embracing it. You are being prepared for a life few will ever experience because you are willing to endure, willing to fight, willing to conquer yourself, and willing to rise under pressure. And when you reach the top, when you stand on that summit, when you look back at every obstacle you overcame, every limit you shattered, every pressure you turned into power, you will understand why it was worth it. You will understand that the climb, the struggle, the fire, it was all necessary. Victory over yourself, adaptation under pressure. That is the mindset of greatness. That is the path to the summit. That is how ordinary people become legendary. Now, let's talk about sacrifice. Let's talk about the power of letting go. You see, every great life, every legendary story, every peak ever reached has one thing in common. It demanded sacrifice. And I don't mean the small sacrifices, the ones that are easy, convenient, or comfortable. I'm talking about the sacrifices that hurt, that challenge your comfort, that force you to grow in ways you didn't think possible. The first step is this. You must let go of what no longer serves you. The old habits, the toxic people, the environments that drain you, the fears that hold you hostage. If you want greatness, you must release them. Let me tell you something. The longer you cling to the past, the heavier your life becomes. Every toxic relationship, every negative thought, every self-limiting belief. It is like a chain around your ankle while the rest of the world is sprinting forward. You cannot reach your full potential if you are dragging behind the weight of who you used to be or what you've been conditioned to accept. You gotta be ruthless with your growth. You've got to look in the mirror and ask, what version of myself am I willing to leave behind today? What will I sacrifice to become the person I'm meant to be? And I promise you, it won't always be easy. You'll feel pain. You'll feel fear. You'll feel loss. But that pain, that fear, that loss, that's the currency of transformation. That is the price of greatness. And if you pay it willingly, if you embrace it, you will not only survive, you will thrive. Now, the second part of this journey is discipline, the kind of relentless, unyielding discipline that shapes your future. Sacrifice alone isn't enough. You must pair it with daily action, with intentional choices, with discipline that outlasts motivation. Every day, every hour, every moment is a building block for the life you are creating. The small choices you make today, waking up early, pushing past excuses, showing up when no one else is watching, these are the bricks that construct your future. Discipline is the bridge between who you are today and who you are destined to become. It's the engine that powers your transformation. It's the reason some people keep grinding long after their peers have given up, why some rise from the ashes while others remain buried under mediocrity. Discipline is not glamorous. Discipline is not exciting, but it is effective. And the more you practice it, the more you condition your mind and your body to operate beyond limits, to endure what others refuse to endure, to achieve what others won't even attempt. This is how you form your future. You release the old, the toxic, the unproductive. You sacrifice comfort, convenience, and fear, and then you replace it with rigorous discipline, daily effort, and unwavering commitment. You show up when it's inconvenient. You push when it's uncomfortable. You focus when the world is distracted. And slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, you start to see the shift. You start to notice the growth. You start to see your life aligning with the vision that was always inside of you, waiting for you to act. Let me be clear. This is not a short-term experiment. This is not a temporary reset. This is a lifelong dedication to becoming the best version of yourself. Some days it will hurt. Some days it will feel lonely. Some days it will seem like nothing is happening. But every choice you make, every sacrifice you commit to, every moment of discipline compounds into unstoppable momentum. And one day, when you look back at all the people, all the habits, all the excuses you've left behind, you will see that every hardship, every rejection, every painful decision was necessary. Greatness requires letting go and moving forward. You cannot carry the weight of the past while sprinting towards your future. You cannot hold on to what's holding you back and still claim your destiny. Sacrifice is the doorway. Discipline is the pathway. Together, they are unstoppable. Together, they allow you to create a life that others only dream of, a life defined by purpose, achievement, and unshakable resilience. So ask yourself, what am I holding on to that I must release? What old version of myself am I ready to leave behind? How much am I willing to sacrifice today for the greatness I deserve tomorrow? The answers will shape your journey. The answers will determine your legacy. And if you act with courage, consistency, and discipline, I promise you, you will not only survive the storm, you will rise above it. Let me tell you something you need to hear right now. Discipline beats motivation every single time. Motivation is fleeting. Motivation is fragile. Motivation comes like the wind. Sometimes it blows strong, sometimes it disappears completely. But discipline is the engine that never quits. Discipline is what separates the people who dream from the people who do. Most people wait to feel inspired. They wait for motivation to show up like a guest who might never arrive. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect energy. And while they wait, their lives pass by. The opportunity they were meant to seize slips through their fingers. But you are not that person. You do not wait. You do not postpone. You show up every single day. Even when you're tired, even when you're bored, even when the world tells you to quit, because you understand the truth. Greatness is forged not in moments of inspiration, but in moments of relentless, repeated action. Consistency is your weapon. It's not a suggestion, it's the foundation of your future. Every small act, every deliberate effort, repeated day after day, compounds into momentum so powerful it becomes unstoppable. Think about it. A snowball rolling down a mountain starts small, almost invisible, but with each rotation, it grows. That is what consistent action does. That is what daily discipline creates. Momentum, growth, transformation, change that sticks, change that lasts, change that cannot be taken away. You must commit to consistency even when it feels unnecessary, even when it seems invisible, even when no one notices. Because the moment you quit, because the moment you let excuses win, you betray your own potential. You rob yourself of what you are capable of becoming. Discipline is not about force. It's about choice. The choice to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. The choice to honor your commitments, to honor your goals, to honor yourself. And here's the critical piece. Action beats inspiration. Inspiration is beautiful, but it is powerless on its own. Inspiration doesn't move mountains. Inspiration doesn't create habits. Inspiration doesn't manifest dreams. Action does. Action is tangible. Action is real. Action is what turns vision into reality. You can feel inspired 100 times, but if you do not act, nothing changes. But one single decisive action, taken repeatedly, builds results. That is the power of discipline. That is the power of consistency. That is how ordinary people become extraordinary. Think about the champions, the leaders, the trailblazers you admire. Do you think they always feel motivated? Do you think they wake up every morning filled with excitement? Of course not. They face fatigue. They face doubt. They face frustration. But they show up anyway. They do the work anyway. They take action anyway. Because they understand a profound truth, your results are not determined by how you feel, they are determined by what you do. So I want you to commit to this today. Start small, but be consistent. 5 minutes of focused work, 10 minutes of discipline, one small step towards your goal. Do it every day, without fail. Make it non-negotiable. Protect it, guard it, nourish it, and then build on it. Stack it, layer it. Before you know it, the habits you created will define you. They will shape your identity. You will not just act disciplined, you will be disciplined. And let me tell you this, when you combine daily discipline with the courage to act, the world bends to your determination. Resistance, setbacks, distractions, they still come. Life still tests you, but you have the armor now. You have the structure, you have the rhythm. You don't rely on fleeting feelings. You rely on habits, systems, and the unshakable foundation of discipline-driven action. Remember, discipline is freedom. Discipline is power. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you are meant to be. Motivation will come and go. Inspiration will flicker, but your disciplined action, repeated daily, will carry you forward when nothing else can. This is how you create the life you want. This is how you climb mountains. This is how you become unstoppable. This is how ordinary days become extraordinary lives. Now let's talk about willpower. Let's talk about self-control. I want you to understand something very clearly. Willpower alone will not get you where you want to go. Willpower is fleeting. Willpower is fragile. Willpower is like trying to sprint on empty fuel. It might take you a few steps, but eventually you'll collapse. That's why the greatest achievers don't rely solely on willpower. They build systems and habits that carry them forward when willpower fades. You see, habits are your secret weapon. Habits are the invisible scaffolding of success. Every small decision you make repeatedly becomes automatic. Brushing your teeth in the morning isn't a conscious effort anymore. It's automatic. That's how your life should operate. You want success? You want mastery? Then you must program your actions into your daily rhythm so that they no longer depend on whether you feel like doing them or not. Start small. Start with one habit, one system, one action you commit to every day. It could be reading 10 pages, writing 500 words, exercising for 20 minutes, whatever it is. Do it consistently. Then add another, then another. Layer them, stack them. Make them unbreakable. That is how you multiply willpower. That is how you take control of your life. That is how you turn intention into action and action into results. But systems and habits alone are not enough. There is something else you must cultivate: the courage to act despite fear and resistance. Fear will whisper in your ear. Resistance will rise in your mind. Your brain will try to convince you to delay, to wait, to postpone until tomorrow. It will disguise itself as reason, as logic, as preparation. Don't fall for it. That is just fear wearing a mask. That is just resistance trying to keep you small. The only way to overcome it is to act anyway. Take the first step. Take the next step. Take the step after that. Action is the antidote to fear. Action is the weapon against resistance. Action is how you prove to yourself every single day that you are stronger than your doubts, smarter than your excuses, and more committed than your comfort. Every time you act in spite of fear, every time you push forward when your mind wants to quit, you reinforce a fundamental truth. You are in control. You are the master of your destiny. You are unstoppable. And here's the thing: the more you act despite fear, the easier it becomes. The more you push through resistance, the more resilient you become. The more you repeat disciplined actions, the stronger your mental and emotional muscles grow. Before long, you don't even need to rely on willpower. It's no longer about fighting yourself. It's about moving naturally in the rhythm of greatness. Your habits, your systems, your repeated actions, they carry you forward effortlessly. Think about this. The person who achieves extraordinary results isn't necessarily the smartest, the luckiest, or the most talented. No, it's the one who shows up when it's hard, the one who acts when it's uncomfortable, the one who moves forward when fear, doubt, and resistance rise like walls in front of them. That person has built their life around systems, habits, and unwavering self-control. That person doesn't wait to feel motivated. They act. That person doesn't wait for inspiration. They create momentum. That person is unstoppable. That person is you, if you choose to commit. So start today. Build your habits. Build your systems. Take control of your environment. Remove distractions. Guard your time. Protect your focus. And when fear comes, when resistance rises, when your mind screams at you to stop, push through it anyway. That is how ordinary people become extraordinary. That is how dreams are transformed into reality. That is how you become the architect of your destiny. Willpower alone isn't enough. But willpower plus systems plus action plus courage equals unstoppable force. That's the path. That's the strategy. That's how you claim your greatness and take control of your life. Every day, every moment, every decision counts. And the person who wins isn't the one who hoped. It's the one who acted. Now let's talk about investing in your future self. This is where the real game begins. The world doesn't reward luck. The world doesn't reward wishes. The world rewards preparation, dedication, and relentless growth. Every day you spend coasting, every day you spend waiting, every day you choose comfort over effort is a day your future self will look back on and regret. But the moment you commit to yourself, the moment you choose to invest in your growth, in your skills, in your knowledge, everything changes. Self-improvement is not optional. It is mandatory. It is non-negotiable. You must grow. You must learn. You must expand your mind and your skill set until the version of yourself that exists today is unrecognizable to the version of yourself tomorrow. Every book you read, every hour you spend sharpening your craft, every lesson you internalize it is a deposit into your personal bank of greatness. And just like money, the more consistent your deposits, the greater your future wealth and wisdom, in skill and influence, in power and legacy. And growth isn't just about learning. Growth is about actioning what you learn. It's about turning knowledge into skill. It's about turning skill into mastery. It's about taking what others overlook, what others ignore, what others dismiss as too much work, and using it to build a life that is remarkable. Your future self is not going to magically appear. Your future self is forged in the fires of discipline, effort, and relentless improvement. Every day is an opportunity to become 1% better, 1% stronger, 1% wiser, 1% more productive. And if you compound that improvement over weeks, months, and years, the results are extraordinary. The small, consistent gains are what separate the average from the phenomenal. The people who leave a mark on the world, the people who achieve legendary success, they are not necessarily smarter or luckier. They are the ones who understand the power of incremental improvement. They are the ones who show up every day and say, I will get better. I will do more. I will stretch myself further than yesterday. And here's the truth, performance is not static. If you do not intentionally improve, if you do not deliberately grow, you will stagnate. If you remain the same person you were last year, you will get the same results you got last year. But if you commit to self-improvement, if you dedicate yourself to learning, to expanding, to executing better, to performing at higher levels, you create momentum that no one can stop. The world bends to those who show up consistently prepared, sharpened, and ready. Investing in your future self is also about discipline in action. It's about designing a life where you are constantly moving forward, constantly raising the bar, constantly upgrading your performance. It's about measuring your work, critiquing your efforts, reflecting on your progress, and then doing it all again better, faster, stronger. It's about leaving no room for complacency, no tolerance for excuses, and no mercy for wasted potential. Every day counts, every decision counts, every habit, every choice, every action is shaping the person you are becoming. Think about this. The version of yourself that you want to become, the one who is powerful, successful, fulfilled, unstoppable, does not exist by chance. That version exists because you built it with intention. That version exists because you refuse to settle. That version exists because you understood that time is the most valuable asset you have, and you invested it wisely, strategically, relentlessly in yourself. So I want you to make a promise today. Promise yourself that you will stop waiting for permission. Promise yourself that you will stop waiting for perfect conditions. Promise yourself that you will start acting today to build the version of yourself that your dreams demand. Learn more, grow more, push harder, execute better. Upgrade your performance relentlessly. Improve incrementally. Refuse to settle for anything less than your best. And know this, every sacrifice, every effort, every hour spent building yourself now pays exponential dividends in the future. Your future self is waiting, and your future self is counting on you. Because here's the final truth. The life you want, the impact you want, the legacy you want, it isn't given. It is created. It is earned. It is built, brick by brick, day by day, choice by choice. You are the architect. You are the builder. You are the force that determines what your life will become. Invest in yourself. Grow relentlessly. Perform consistently. Improve ceaselessly. And one day, when you look back, you will see a life built not on luck, not on circumstance, not on wishes, but on discipline, sacrifice, courage, and unwavering commitment to your own greatness. Now let's talk about legacy, the kind of life, the kind of impact, the kind of story that echoes long after you're gone. Legacy is not built in comfort. Legacy is not built in a day, a week, or even a year. Legacy is forged through relentless effort, unyielding discipline, and the willingness to endure pain for the sake of something greater than yourself. Every champion, every leader, every legend you admire has one thing in common. They understood that pain is inevitable. Life will push you. Life will test you. Life will challenge you in ways that feel unbearable. And the difference between those who leave a mark on the world and those who fade into mediocrity is simple. They embrace the pain, they endure the struggle, and they use it to climb higher. You will face moments where your body aches, your mind wants to quit, and your heart feels heavy. You will encounter setbacks that make you question yourself. You will face failures that seem devastating. But here's the truth. Pain is temporary, but greatness is eternal. The agony you endure today, the struggle you push through now, is the training ground for your future victories. Every tear you shed, every ounce of sweat, every moment of doubt that you overcome it, is a deposit into the bank of your legacy. And this is where consistency comes in. Legacy isn't about dramatic, explosive moments. It's not about one big achievement or a single triumph. Legacy is about showing up day after day, year after year, even when no one is watching, even when it's uncomfortable, even when the world doubts you. It's about taking small, relentless steps toward your vision every single day. That's how ordinary effort becomes extraordinary results. That's how persistence compounds into a life that inspires, influences, and leaves a mark on the world. Every choice matters. Every action matters. Every habit matters. The person you are today, the discipline you show today, the sacrifices you make today, they determine the story you will leave behind. Will your life be remembered for laziness, for excuses, for almost? Or will it be remembered for courage, for endurance, for unwavering commitment to something greater than yourself? You must understand this. The road to legacy is never easy. It requires pain, yes. It requires struggle, yes. It requires that you push beyond fear, fatigue, and frustration. But it also requires that you never stop moving forward. One day of effort, one day of persistence, one day of sacrifice isn't enough. Legacy is built on years of relentless action, repeated with discipline, driven by purpose, and fueled by belief in yourself. So I want you to look at your life today and ask yourself, am I building something that will last? Am I putting in the work that my future self, my family, my community, and the world deserve? Am I willing to endure the pain now to secure success later? Because here's the truth. The comfort you cling to today, the shortcuts you take, the hesitation you indulge in, they steal from your future. But the effort, the sacrifice, the discipline, the consistency you commit to, they create a life that cannot be ignored. Remember, greatness is not accidental. Influence is not accidental. Impact is not accidental. They are the result of relentless effort, of showing up when others quit, of doing what must be done even when it hurts, of repeating the right actions day after day until they become unstoppable momentum. That is how you build a legacy. That is how you leave a mark on the world. That is how you ensure that when your name is spoken years from now, it is spoken with respect, with admiration, and with reverence. So rise, grind, endure, show up, push through, commit, sacrifice, and repeat over and over every single day. Because the world doesn't remember potential. The world doesn't celebrate plans. The world honors execution, consistency, courage, and relentless action. That is your path to legacy. That is how ordinary lives become extraordinary. That is how you create something that outlives you, something that inspires, something that changes the world. Pain will come, pressure will rise, doubt will knock. But you keep moving. You keep showing up. You keep giving more than yesterday. And when you do, when you persist, when you refuse to quit, when you stay disciplined and consistent, you win not just for yourself, but for everyone who will look to your life as proof that greatness is possible. That is legacy. That is your calling. That is your destiny. If you want, I can now compile all 7 themes into a single, seamless, full-length epic motivational speech in Denzel Washington Style 1, flowing document from start to finish, over 30 to 40 minutes of spoken material, with every theme, micro-theme, and motivational point fully woven together. And now, let's finish where it all begins, with the morning. Because victory begins the moment you wake up. Every great life, every legendary achievement, every story of success starts with one simple but powerful choice: to rise, to act, and to take full responsibility for your day. The alarm goes off. The bed feels warm. Your body wants to linger in comfort. Your mind wants to delay, to excuse, to negotiate with itself. And this is the exact moment that defines you. This is the moment that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Because when you choose to get up, to move, to own your day, you are already winning. You are already telling the world, I am in control. I am responsible. I am here to claim my greatness. Every morning is an opportunity to rewrite your story, to step into the person you were meant to become, to invest in the life you've been dreaming about. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait for someone else to hand you permission or resources. Action is the key. Discipline is the key. Responsibility is the key. You take control, and in doing so, you set the tone for everything that follows. Be the first to rise. Be the first to act. Be the first to chase your goals when everyone else is still dreaming. Be relentless in your commitment, because the person you are in these quiet, early hours, when no one is watching, when the world sleeps, when excuses are strongest, is the person who determines the course of your entire life. And then, every single day, push yourself to be better than yesterday. Show up for your growth. Commit to your discipline, investing your knowledge, your craft, your mind, your body, and your relationships. Every small effort compounds. Every consistent action creates momentum. Every choice to act, to improve, to rise above excuses and fear, shapes the person you are becoming. Your victory is built in these daily moments. Your legacy is built in these daily moments. Your greatness is forged not in grand gestures, but in the quiet, persistent, unwavering effort you put in every single morning. Wake up. Take responsibility. Commit to your actions. Step fully into your life. Push yourself. Grind relentlessly. And slowly, every day, you become the best version of yourself. Remember, there are no shortcuts. There are no magic formulas. There are only the choices you make every morning, every day, every moment. Victory begins now. Victory begins with you. Victory begins the moment you open your eyes and decide to rise, to act, and to take ownership of your life. So rise first, rise strong, rise determined. Take control of your day, take control of your life, and let every sunrise remind you, the person you become today is the person your future will thank you for tomorrow. This is how greatness is created. This is how winners are made. This is how lives are transformed. And it all starts the moment you wake up and decide to be extraordinary.